All right. What's up, everybody? All my people in Manhattan, the Boogie Down Bronx, Queens, all the way out to Staten Island, my home borough, Brooklyn. Back out with another video. And this is going to be on Paul Pierce's 2008 playoff run to his first and only championship of his illustrious Hall of Fame career. But first, give a little backdrop. Back in 1998, the Boston Celtics selected Paul Pierce 10th overall out of Kansas and paired him with another young stud, Antoine Walker. In the early 2000s, Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker would get the Celtics to the playoffs. They even got as far as the 2002 Eastern Conference Finals, where, unfortunately for them, they were swept by the Jason Kidd New Jersey Nets. Over the next couple years, Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker continued to get the Celtics into the playoffs, but they got bounced back-to-back years by the Indiana Pacers. Eventually, Antoine Walker left, and Paul Pierce reached a new low point in his career, the 2006-2007 season. Paul Pierce missed most of that year with injury, and the Celtics finished, I believe, 27-55. The Celtics were in trouble. Paul Pierce was getting older. He was getting older. He needed help. So Celtics GM Danny Ainge got him some help by trading for two other veteran superstar players. 2004 MVP Kevin Garnett and three-point sniper Ray Allen, who both of them respectively took their teams to the conference finals, just like Paul did, but they weren't able to get over the hump. And, a new Big Three was formed in Boston. The first time the Celtics were legit title contenders since the 80s, the Larry Bird era. And let me say this. If this didn't work, the Paul Pierce, KG, Ray Allen, they all had to make this work, because if it didn't work, they probably would never win a championship. So they had to make it work, and they got the job done. Kudos to them. Ray Allen, KG, and Paul Pierce, also in that loaded Boston Celtics squad, was reliable role player Kendrick Perkins, defensive stud Tony Allen, Sam Cassell, Eddie House, and of course young star Rajon Rondo. Of course, they were coached by Doc Rivers. The Celtics finished that year 66-16 and secured the number one spot in the Eastern Conference playoffs and home court advantage. Getting the number one, and in that regular season, Paul averaged 20 points a game, 4.5 assists a game, shot 46% from the field, and got 5 rebounds. In the first round playoff matchup, they faced the number 8 seed Atlanta Hawks. In that first round series, Paul averaged 18 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, shot 45% from the field. In the closeout Game 7, Paul scored 22 points, got 3 assists, and 8 rebounds and 2 steals. And the Celtics closed out the Atlanta Hawks in 7 games. They advanced to the Eastern Conference semifinals, where they faced young star LeBron James, who the previous year led his team to the NBA Finals. In the second round series, Paul averaged 19 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds, shot 40% from the field. Goddamn, Paul. And in the closeout Game 7, Paul probably had the best game of his career to me. Game 7, he had 41 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, and the Celtics closed out the young king and his Cavaliers in 7 games and advanced all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they faced the Detroit Pistons, who were on their last legs, and that Chauncey Billups, Tayshaun Prince team, Rip Hamilton team. Of course, Ben Wallace was gone by this point. In the conference finals, Paul averaged 20 points, dished out 4 assists, got 6 rebounds, and shot 50% from the field in that series. In the closeout Game 6, Paul scored 27 points, got 3 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, and 1 block. And the Celtics, for the first time since 1987, were on their way to the NBA Finals, where they faced the Celtics' old rival, the Los Angeles Lakers, who were led by, of course, NBA MVP Kobe Bryant, Pau Gasol, and his new re-energized Lakers squad. And, of course, we all know this is for the series when Paul Pierce left the game in a wheelchair and came back walking on both feet just fine. Came back in time, the Celtics defeated the Lakers in that game. In the NBA Finals, Paul Pierce averaged 22 points, got 6 assists, 4.5 rebounds, shot 43% from the field. And his standout game to me was Game 2, when he scored 28 points, got 8 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, and 1 block. And in the closeout Game 6, the Boston Celtics did what they historically do, destroy the LA Lakers. Sorry, Lakers fans. They defeated the Lakers by an NBA Finals record 39 points. In Game 6, 131-92. And for the first time in 22 years, the Boston Celtics were NBA champions. Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and Kevin Garnett, after years of being in the NBA, finally got their rings. So what do you guys think? Is this one of the most underrated playoff performances of all time? Is Paul Pierce one of the most underrated players ever? Tell me what you think in the comment section down below. Click the like button, subscribe. A couple young brother go on YouTube. Follow me on my Patreon. I'm going to see you all.